Yo, what's up, guys? This is Alex Rome here, and today we're gonna take a project that's from one of my good friends and currently one of my students in lessons, and we need to help make this project sound a little bit more tip-top and ready to rock shows. So a little story. This project is from Baywood. I've been teaching Baywood for a while. Been chilling with him as well. We're actually really good friends. And we've met through me doing YouTube videos, of course, and him interacting. But Baywood's getting ready to start performing some shows. And so he needs his songs ready to bang those shows. He needs some show-ready songs. So we need to take this drop here. I'm going to play it for you. You're going to notice it's a really good drop, really good idea, but it's missing that last 5% to make it powerful and big. And so we're going to take this drop and that sounds like this. And we need to make that drop sound like this. Alright guys, so here's what we're gonna do. We need to add a couple elements to this, and we need to just make what he's got sound a little bit better. That's all. He's got the great idea. I think the melody is rock and roll ready. I think the drums are incredible. What there lacks in this is a good, strong bass line and movement. Everything he's got is kind of stale. It's not really moving as much as it could be. And sometimes when you're writing songs, you just run out of that creative energy that creates that idea that things should be moving a little bit more crazy. A lot of times you could get stuck on a project, and the issue is that you just don't know where to go anymore because you've spent all of your creative energy in this project, and you're just there. You're stuck there now. So we got people like me to help make this project tip top. So here's what we need to do. We have all these leads that have no movement. They have very minimal side chaining, and for me it's not enough. We need more movement. Electronic music is a genre of movement and energy. So anytime you can add energy, please don't let that up. You have to do that. So this one, I'm actually, since this is the highest pitch lead, I'm going to jack that up. Put the mix on 100%. Then we're going to go here. This is the main lead. This is the loudest one, so you really can't mess this one up. Anytime you have a layer that's the loudest, most dominant layer, you want it to be there. So we got that there. We got a side chaining or ducking now on both lead layers. Alright, this one, I was initially worried about this layer, but it's actually not that bad. It had a couple resonating frequencies up top, but I'm sure mastering I can get rid of that resonating sound. I'm guessing. I might need to individually do it here, but not worried about it right now. Listen to this. Is that fun to listen to? No, it sounds like a break. So what we need to do is we need to make it sound like a drop. AKA make it sound like a chop, man. Make it sound like it's rocking and rolling. Nicky Romero Kickstart, baby, is going to help me do that. Just little things like this. When in doubt, add ducking to it. It'll probably sound ballin' in the end anyway. Just do it. I know it's cliche, but it works. So here's my other problem. I ran into these chords and I was like, okay, well, this isn't something you can really... It's not adding any energy. So what I did is I actually pulled these down and added more rock and roll with the kickstart. the kickstart baby. And not only that, but these also lacked sufficiently in the highs. The chorus is, especially this chorus, we want things screaming. Not screaming so bad that it takes away from anything else, but screaming like it's a drop. So now what we're going to do is work on this bass line. You can't sit here and tell me that's a good bass line. You know why? Because it's not big enough. We need a big bass line to add that meat. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sub layer and I'm going to redo his sub layer. Add movement to it. Make sure it's thick. Make sure it has purpose. Alright, so here's the sub layer alone. The reason you couldn't hear it before is because this layer is too loud compared to it. So when you have two layers of bass and the less important one is louder, then you're just going to get a shitty result. What is this? I need to take that off because I don't know what the hell that is. Alright, and here's another issue. We got a sawtooth wave and a sawtooth wave making sub bass, and that's a no-no. Let's use a whenever your bass is lacking, go back to the basics and use waves that are actually good for bass, like cut off square waves or sine waves. And this is already done, so I don't need to touch this, adding a nice tube distortion on the low end. So now we have a nice thick sub bass. But there's no movement to this sub bass. Anytime you have a static sub bass like this, try to add a little bit of movement to it because it makes things happen. It makes your listeners start hearing it differently. Go to AlexRomeSound.com if you're interested in lessons too. And buy everything on my website. I suck at plugging my website. I gotta make it less obvious. Anyway, let's go down here and add a little bit of bendiness. Ready? Let's do this. See, just like that. We're gonna make it bend on this node here. Just to add it, just so it's like different, you know? Add some differentness. And then we could go, let's just use the same note, doesn't matter. Oh. I just shortened up the region. Alright, so now we got a thick bass line, and on this one, I'm actually going to bend it down from... Hey, could you send me that beat? It's Jordan right now. He doesn't know I'm making a video with his project. Alright. So... this one's going to bend from the snare because I know the snare hits in this area. Watch. Hear that? So listen, the snare's going to hit right here. The snare's going to hit. And when the snare hits, the bass is going to react by falling away. You add those kind of dynamics, ladies will be all over you. Nice. A little bit less decay. Alright, so now what we need is some effects. Effects make up the electronic genre. Effects are big, effects loud, effects add hiss. They add a lot of stuff, especially white noise. Damn, you get some white noise up in here, ducking with everything else. So here's what's easy now. Now that our whole drop is ducking, we can add white noise without getting too crafty with it. All we need to do is put a duck on this white noise and it's gonna ride with the drop and sound explosive with the rest of what's going on. So right now it's like ducking in some odd odd fashion. So what I'm gonna do, and let's loosen it up a bit. And then this is what I did in the project before this. So like, I've actually already did everything I'm doing now when I did it for him. But here we go. I'll just, do it again. Functions, reverse. I reversed this. So when white noise becomes static, aka it kind of like it stops moving, does like boring shit, it gets boring. So what I do is I just switch it up like that, add a little bit of bounce to these, and I go pan and strategically place some panning automation. This, like, you spend a lot of time on little things like this. I'm doing it quick now, but if I had the time, I would be sitting here, like, spending a lot of time on this, making sure it rhythmically aligns with everything going on in my drop. So he was missing this layer. He's missing this whole white noise layer. White noise adds, it just adds push. Like, that's the way I explain it, adds push. When push comes to shove. Alright, let's go add a crash cymbal. See, just that white noise, it's like it's literally like salt and pepper. It like makes things bigger. Oops. I actually don't think I want that on the second half. I'd have to figure something out for that. But, I mean, that's what I was trying to accomplish, just that extra push. You know what I mean? And so, like, what I actually did in the other version is I got an imager and spread these a little bit. So right there, I'm hearing bass and then lead right on top of it, and I don't want to hear too much of this. You hear too much of this, you're going to take away from both your bass and your lead. Craziest thing about music. Too many elements means none of them can take the spotlight. I want the lead and the bass to take the spotlight, so I'm going to turn my mid section down a bit. Nice. All right, that sounds cool. That's gonna work on stage. Needs a little bit of fine tuning, mixing. I think the kick is too loud. Sounds kind of weird, but I mean the dynamics are what I would be going for if this was my song. It's explosive, it's big, sounds like exactly what it needs to sound like, and then we can go back here and actually compare it to the original. Well, actually no, we can't because we had we put some editing on all of these with the Nicky Romero. So that's like without the bass addition and everything. But hey, it's rocking and rolling, ready to bang out on stage. Can't wait to see that video. If you guys took value from this video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell thing if you're new here. I love you. Peace out, guys.